Hello friends, welcome once again to another class. Today in our English language lesson, we will be looking at words and opposites. Words and opposites. First, what do we mean by opposites? We know what words are definitely, so what do we mean by opposites? When we say opposites, it means something that is totally different from what we are looking at. For instance, whatever word we pick, the opposite of that word is what is totally different from it, or the reverse. When you turn it around, what is totally not like what we are looking at. So opposite is what is totally different or unlike what we are looking at. So in this lesson, we have some selected words that we're going to be looking at. Those selected words are words that are appropriate, suitable for this grade level. Okay, so we've selected those words for us to look at today. So the first one we have here on the first batch of words is light. Light. The opposite of light is dark, or the light that is the noun, the opposite of it is darkness. Okay, let's just add this. So light or darkness, dark or darkness. Okay, opposite of light. Then the second word we have here is win, to win, and the opposite of win is lose. If there is a game, a team wins, and the one that doesn't win is the one that we say has lost. One wins, the other loses. Okay, number 3, begin. To begin or to start, and the opposite is to end. Begin, end. Number 4, peace. The opposite of peace is war. War, when there are fights and stuff like that. Number 5, brave. Brave, when you're brave, it means you are bold, you are courageous, you are fearless. Okay, and the opposite of that word, brave, is cowardly. Cowardly. Another opposite of brave could be timid. Could be timid or fearful. So number 6 we have, okay, let's just add one here. Let's add timid to our list. Okay. So the next word here is simple. Simple, opposite is complicated or difficult. Simple, the opposite is complicated, or it can also be difficult. Remember, sometimes you're giving work to do, you say, oh, this work is very simple. Some other times you're giving work to do and it's like, oh, this work is so difficult, or it's so complicated. It's not straightforward. Number 7 here we have generous. To be generous means you give out a lot, to give easily, to give to others, not holding back. It could be money, it could be materials, it could be even your time. So to be generous means to give out, to be willing, or to willingly give. The opposite of generous is stingy. Stingy. If you are not generous, you are stingy. Number 8, we have diligent. When you're diligent, it means you are mindful to do your work, you are careful to do your work, you are hardworking, committed to your work. And the opposite of diligent is lazy. Lazy. It can also be indolent. Okay? All right. We're going to take a look at some other words. All right. The next set of words we have here, the first one is innocent. To be innocent means you are free of guilt, you didn't do something wrong, you are clear, you are clean. Okay, the opposite of innocent is guilty. Is guilty. When you do something wrong, you're guilty. Okay. Then 10, you have a frequent. When something happens frequently, it happens often. It happens most of the time. It happens now and then, every now and then. The opposite of frequent is occasionally, rarely, or infrequent. It is frequent. It's occasional, it's occasional, or it is rare. It is when we say frequently, we use occasionally or rarely. Okay, so if it's frequent, it's occasional. The opposite, it is rare or it is infrequent. The third one is ancient. Ancient, it means the same thing as old. So the opposite of ancient is modern, recent, something that is new. And the next one here is genuine. Genuine means something that is proven, that is true, that is authentic. It is real. It is the good thing. Genuine. And the opposite is fake. When something is fake, that means it's not the real thing. 13, pleasant. And the opposite is unpleasant. We know what pleasant is. Something that is nice. Something that is pleasing, good, acceptable. And the opposite is unpleasant. And the last one for this set is flexible. And for something to be flexible, it means it can easily be bent. It can easily change shape or form. But the opposite of it is rigid, is fixed. It can't be changed or easily manipulated. The shape can be twisted easily. So opposite of flexible is rigid, firm, or inflexible. We try to, these ones that have more than one words, we try to bring out the more commonly used opposite forms. Like flexible, most times what you hear is rigid. You hardly hear people use inflexible. So that's why we're bringing in more than one for some of them. Like frequent, he frequently visits the place, he occasionally. So you will rarely hear people say he infrequently visits. Okay, so we try to bring out the more commonly used opposite forms of the words you're considering. Okay, so we're going to look at the last set now, and that will be it for today. Okay, so the last set of words we'll be looking at, the first one there is responsible. Responsible. And the opposite of responsible is irresponsible. To be responsible means you do what you need to do. You are mindful of the way you do things. You're careful about the way you do things, and you do the right thing at the right time. Okay, so the opposite of it is irresponsible. You don't take responsibility. You don't take up things to do. Okay, you're lousy and all of that. Then the next one here is experienced. Experienced. To be experienced means you have the knowledge of something. You can do something. You have the skills to do something. Okay? Like you're an expert. The opposite of it is inexperienced. You don't have the skills. You are not an expert in it. Or you are naive. You don't know nothing about it. Or you are a novice. You are new to that terrain. You do not understand what it takes to get that thing done. So experienced means you're like an expert. You know how to do it very well. You understand the stuff. Then the opposite, right? Inexperienced or naive or novice. Okay. So the next word here is optimistic. Optimistic. When you are optimistic, it means you look at the bright side of things. You look at the good that could come out of things, or the good things in a thing or in a person. Then the opposite of it is pessimistic. When someone is pessimistic, the person always sees the dark side of things or the dark side of people, doesn't see good things coming out of something. Okay, always looking at the bad side. So optimistic is pessimistic. The next word here is sincere. Sincere. When you're sincere, it means you are honest, you say the truth, you are not trying to deceive people or anybody. Okay, you are clean to be sincere, to say the truth about situation and things. Opposite of sincere is insincere or hypocritical or two-faced. You are insincere, you are hypocritical, or you are two-faced. When they say you are two-faced, it doesn't mean you have two faces. It just means that you are not straightforward. You are not saying the truth about things, or you do not stand for the truth. You try to deceive. You do things to deceive. The next one here is forgiving. Forgiving, to forgive means to pardon someone for any offense and to let go. And then the opposite of forgiving is unforgiving, or vindictive. Opposite of forgiving is unforgiving, or it can be vindictive. And the last one here is diverse. Diverse means assorted, different things, different stuff, okay, coming together. And the opposite of diverse, when things are different, we say they are diverse. And the opposite is similar, or uniform, or homogeneous. Diverse means different, and then the opposite, you have similar, uniform, or homogeneous. So here is where we are going to call it a day for today. I hope you've learned something, and I will also advise that you try to go over this video again, go over these words again, try to, apart from the fact that we are looking at the opposites of these words, we are also trying to get the meanings of these words and also the spellings as well. Okay, we try to build different skills at the same time with a particular lesson. So here your spelling skills are being worked on, and your ability to improve your spoken language by using diverse words, because once you know the meaning of these words and you know the words that are opposite to them, you can help to that will help to improve your vocabulary, help to increase your vocabulary, and help to increase your improve your spoken skills, the way you talk and interact with people, your communication skills. It will improve it, it will help it. So please go over this video again and again, and help us to share the video, like the video, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't. Okay, so we hope to see you again next week. Stay blessed.